I am going to do my best to get through the 2-year-olds. Now, I'm going to give you the update. I'm going to give you the filtered update. It went to me, to you. So I guess not filtered. The raw update came from Jason, and Eric, to me, to you. So I'm going to let you know how everybody is. Good news is I didn't hear any complaints about the 2-year-olds this week. Allie's got grit, is training well. All these horses have been around 240, let's say, but I know some of them have been around 235, 236. And some of them have been in 245, 246. A couple have been in 248. One was in 249 today. We'll get to all them in just a minute. Arrowhead Hanover is training good. Can't wait to continue to put the work into this guy. I think I'm going to be very, very happy with the finished product here. I like everything about Arrowhead Hanover. Atrant has been training good. All three of our chimpanzee fillies look good as we head into the latter part of the winter into the spring. Aunt Lily has been training very good. I think this filly's going to be very strong, very quick. She does wear her hobbles a little bit tight right now, which is not an odd Uncle Peter trait. But I'm very interested to see how this filly's going to handle her 2-year-old season. Baby Zet was the one that went in 249 today. Jason went there and said, you know what? She was good. Well, that's good. That's the first time she's trained a flat mile in her life. We had to give her time. She was sick and then get it right. She's behind everybody, but she did it. 249 today, he said. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill continues to train good. Everybody loves this guy. Blue Ventura, very, very sneaky good horse. I like what I see in this guy. Cadeau has continued to look good ever since we castrated him. Before we castrated him, he looked good. He's getting a little studdy, a little noisy in the barn and striking at people. We castrated him, and he's looked good all along, before and after castration. Captain Incredible looks good. I do a lot of talking about this guy for obvious reasons. We are going to send him to Florida. He is actually coming here. Well, not here, but somewhere around here. I think I'm going to send him to Scott Meccan, and he's going to spend about 6 or 7 weeks down here. Get the cork off him, get him on a clay track. I saw the improvements in pickpocket, memory, and imagination last year. Now, you can't hide unless you're going to race on a clay track forever, which is hard to do. This guy might be able to try and do it. The reason I want to, I think he's a big horse. He was a little stiff behind when we got him going. You guys saw he made a lot of breaks and wasn't pacing good. He's pacing good now, but gets his butt over on the right shaft. We know his ankles were a little rough. There was OCDs out of them when he was young. Gets over on that right shaft a little bit. I just want to do what's right for him. And I talked very extensively about this in the opening. I believe this is a smart move. If we're going to treat the horses as we always try to on a case-by-case basis, this is the move right here. So I believe Captain Incredible is going to come to Florida. Scott McEnany is going to have him for 6 or 7 weeks to train down, and then he's coming back to us. You're probably going to see him end up in Oak Grove, and then the Red Mile, and then hopefully bigger things after that. But I love what I see from this horse. I just want to be careful here with him. And that's not to say I understand he was the most expensive horse we bought. I understand that there's a lot of hopes and dreams riding with him, but we try to do our best for everybody on a case-by-case basis. So it's not like he's getting preferential treatment, but I do believe when I see him and I see his mechanics and I see the way he's moving, I think he can be helped by being on a larger clay track. Century Legion looks great, continues to look very good in Ontario. So does Chicago Hill and Cleveland Masher. Very happy with the Ontario crew. Now, when we go next Saturday, I'm going to be in Ontario. I do want to go with Resolve Indeed again. I might go with Chicago Hall. I want to see how this guy looks. Very impressed with the way he's done his work so far. Century Legion, as I said, has looked great. Mario made a break on Mario the other day, but I could see that coming. Track was a little loose for his gait. Got such a beautiful gait, this horse. And then, of course, as I said, Chicago Hall, Cleveland Masha, very happy with all three of them. Country Dancing, they said trained very good the other day, so that's encouraging. We'd made some shoeing adjustments, actually 3 over the last month. Jason Merriman said she trained great the other day. Good to hear. Dancing by Myself has been good and continues to be good. Dancing in My Socks. Just like to see this guy. He's so big. I think maybe we're asking a lot to see him. Ask him to have that snap speed. I would like to see it. He has done his work well. I just want to see a little bit more from him in the future. Fire and Shine looks great. Foxy Seaside, very happy with them. Freedom Hill's been making a few breaks. She's got that little what the hell wire loose in her head. We see it with all of them we have. The only way to put that to rest and attach it back to her brain is work. And she's going to get some work coming this week. Eric said she's just a little peggy, little pacey. And he said a little hot. She doesn't like that snake cord. Well, she's going to learn to like the snake cord. She's got a big march ahead of her, this filly, I believe. A lot of talent there, and I've seen this. We've seen it with Swinging Senorita. We've seen it with tons of What the Hills that we've had. Nothing new, and I got just a remedy for her. Gaslight Hall look great in Ontario too. Love the Hall horses in Ontario. Love what I see with them. Gorgeous Package just continues to fly right under the radar. Was a winner in her set last time we videoed and has looked good throughout. Grand Old Chap continues to trot. Now we just got to get some speed. I see a bunch of people dumping their shares and dumping them. Listen, I don't blame you. I firmly believe that this horse's breeding will show up and it's just going to be a matter of time. But I don't blame people for dumping their shares. That is why we have the market, and the people that are scooping them up, I'm sure, are happy right now. Hopefully everything will come along, and again, a story like this, if it does work out later part of the summer, and as we move forward, if it does work out, it'll be just another piece of the puzzle where we can show people, we talked about how Austral Hanover, for the people out there to watch their horse make breaks and train terrible all throughout the spring, you got hope, because he was one of the nicest horses. Very strong grassroots horse, and very happy with the horse he became for us. And there's hope for those types of horses. We try to show everybody, and it would be nice to see this horse come along and do good also, so that we could show everybody also and say, hey, here's a horse that looked dreadful throughout. Took 3 months to trot. Then we had to wait for the speed to come around. And when it did, he started to put it all together and became Grand Old Chap. I hope that story comes to fruition. Grand Slam Dio has looked great. So has Green Glitter. These fillies and Jimbri, 3 of them right in a row with the G's. They look very, very good. I was talking to Scotty about who I said, I'm always drawn towards that Rudy type, the one that might be okay, but got a little edge on it and has some pop. That's the Green Glitter. That's why I'm drawn towards her. That's my flame, right? That's the flame and the moth. That's what I'm drawn towards, is those horses. A little rough around the edges, a little mean streak maybe, but when she's in gear, she's beautiful. And I always gravitate towards those horses, and that's why you hear me talk about her a lot. But take nothing away from her. Grand Slam Dio, she got a streak in her too, and very fast filly. And Jimbri, one of her best. Quietly, I believe she's going to be one of her best fillies this year. He's a great guy, has looked great. Very happy with he's a great guy in the way he's come forward. I like this colt a lot. High Hopes doing great things on the track also, and I Don't Play Nice has always looked great. So again, great lineup so far as we head into March here in our barn. Ohio especially. I'm a Trucker. Just backed off of them for a little bit, but I've been happy with the way he's looked the last 2 weeks. I'm Ready too. Looks great also. We backed off with him this week. Horse done a lot of work the month of February and looks very, very good on the track. Leggy, again, another Ohio bred. We got some strong Ohio horses. I find myself saying this a lot, but I think this year over year, if you just look, I don't want to judge and try and say, well, this horse looks like this horse. I don't want to evaluate them in that way. But when I just look at our Ohio breds, it looks like we have a very strong group of horses this year. LT Troubadour, another one, looks great. Manhattan Money, we put the hobbles on Manhattan Money this week, and Eric told me he looked way better today training, which is exciting. I want to see how he looks this week. Melisandre has looked great again. She had the week off from training. She trained hard in February. Been very, very happy with these chimpanzee fillies for sure. Memento Mori has looked great. Also very happy with him. Mountaineer Prince, our Michigan boy. Him and I'm a Trucker. Both colts look good in different ways, but both colts look very good. My Wicked Heart, backed off with her a little bit. Her knees were bothering her. Put flip-flops on her. I thought she looked good training the other day. Danny said she's been looking good training. Never Lose Felix. He ripped his shoe off and ended up with a nail that was bothering him today. This is a guy again. International Money Colt. I like his family. I like him. Just like to see him put a more consistent effort in all the time. It's not to say that he won't or he can't. We did just castrate him, which may go a long way, as you've seen in the past. A long way to him coming forward. Officer Soldier Boy, they say, is doing his work well. Oh, he'll know. We backed off with her a little bit also. Her knees were just bothering her a bit, but very, very interested to see how this filly gets the summer and then does in the summer. A lot of talent inside this filly and under her hood. Pelican Al trained great today. Eric said he was happy with him. Princess Dream has been excelling very well in Ontario. Her and Resolve Indeed, very interesting fillies for Ontario 2024. Rose Run AJ, I said to Scott, I told him right up front, I said, very fast colt, but he will make noise from time to time. We're trying to get a hand line, change his headgear around. We got a choke plate on him now. Don't really know why he's doing it. It has to be mental, because the vets can't find any physical reason for him to be doing that. So I'm sure it will dissipate as he gets into his training, but we are very careful with him as we train him. Rosa Alexandra has just been amazing. Very happy with her. Rosetta looks good also in training, and Eric made a point to say that she sits by the bar back to back here. Both those fillies trained very well today. Speed of Sound. No, I jumped over Southwind Idex. Lazy, but does his work. I like the horse, but he will swing to the lazy side if you let him. You have to keep him up on a helmet. You have to keep him on the bit. You have to keep him moving forward. If you do that, he's not bad. I thought he was okay the other day when I went with him, but he was a little lazy on Jason this week. Speed of Sound continues to look good. I love this filly, obviously. The Priest, had a long discussion with Scott about the Priest. He really liked him and thought that he was fast and had a lot to offer, and I agree. He is. He does. And now that we have him castrated, I believe he is coming forward in a big way. Trevino on green. I like this colt. This is obviously Swinging Senorita's colt. A deep group of colts in Ontario. We get both the Hall colts, right? And Trevino on green. And on the filly side, we have Princess Dream and we have Resolve Indeed. So the trotting side of the 2-year-olds in Ontario looks very strong this year. Very, very happy with the way they look. Wander Hill trained well, they said today. Westland Warrior's good. He did have some residual infection in the scrotum area when we castrated him. Once in a while that will happen and it's posing a problem. It's really set him back to the point where I just told Jason he can train, but don't move him. Just leave him on a helmet, let him get back to doing his work, back to doing his work, back to doing his work. And when that dissipates, that infection and that soreness dissipates, then you're going to see the old Wander Hill, who was Andy is one of our best horses, come out. It's just going to take a little time. So just steady work. No sprinting, no fast miles, just steady 245 work until we get them under control. What a Lady, What a Night continues to do well. Both the Illinois horses have done well. They've both been in 240. Very happy with them. And Eve St. Kemp, Woodmere Betcha, jumped over her. That's the Maritime bred filly, the 3/4 sister to Woodmere Steel Deal. She's training well. Got her hobbles in a little bit this week. I think she'll be much better. And then Eve St. Kemp. This guy here is going to take a little time too. Mentally, a little frustrating sometimes, this horse. But when he does his work, he does it well. And he'll catch up quick enough. He's been around 242, 243. But as we get through the spring, he'll catch up pretty quick. So with that, you're now all caught up. Not the longest videos. I hope you apologize. I apologize. I hope you understand. I'm just trying to get them in before we leave. I'll get these all loaded, get an email off to Kelly, and then hopefully as I land in Ohio tomorrow, you guys will be watching me bring you your videos. So with that, I'll leave you alone. I'll talk to you all very soon. I'll have a much more informed first-person update for you as we head into next week, the first week of March 2024. Take care.